Today, let's go through the filter. Okay. So if you see the data in the employees file, we have different departments, right? So if you see the data here, if you look at distinct departments, okay, department name. So we have around 16 departments. So let's try to create separate files for few of the departments. Okay. So let's take human resources, document control. Okay. And what else? Facility and maintenance. Okay. Let's take these three departments. Let's create separate files for these three departments. Okay.
Yeah.
With the employees, if you go to the file, so let me go to the source file where it is available, training, and then we have Informatica. Okay. Where we need to go server, info shared, and then we have source files, right? So inside the source files, we have a training folder, you have employees.csv. So what is our requirement is, we have different departments here. So I want to separate out the employees for each department. Now all the department persons are there in the single file. So let's go ahead and then create separate file for each department, like the for each department, how many number of employees are there. So let's just push all of them into one particular file. For example, if you consider production, so all the employees related to production department should come into one file, and all the employees related to Informatica information services should be placed into another file. So in the same way, let's do it for these three departments. Okay, one is for human resources, one is for document control, and another one for facilities and maintenance. Okay, let's split this data into three different files for three departments. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So for that, what we need to do first, we need to read the data from the file. All right. So as of now, what we have done, we have created the mapping, right? So we'll go ahead and create the mapping, and then we'll just fetch the source. Okay, we'll drag and drop the source, and then we'll write the logic after that, and we'll add the target. Correct? That is correct, right? So now let's see, we have an employee file. So in this one, what change we need to do? We are doing in the same way. We are reading the data from a file. So this process is common for us in this requirement. Now we are reading the data from this file, and then we are generating the different files for each department. So we are considering three different departments. So we'll be creating three files. Okay. So only which part is changing? Only this one is changing, right?
Yeah.
Remaining this part will be same. Your targets will be different, and if you want to apply any transformations, you have to add those transformations. So instead of creating the mapping every time, so you can reuse the logic, whatever is available in this particular mapping, right? So what you can do, you can go to mappings, okay, copy as, then it will allow us to create another mapping with the same logic. Okay, it will just copy this particular mapping logic, and it will create another mapping. Okay.
Yeah.
And we are reading the data from file employee, and then we are loading the data into target department file. Okay. For each department, we are separating the employees. Okay. So let's click on okay. What is happening? So you are having another another mapping with the same logic, whatever is there in the target employee file. Okay, whatever the logic is there in this mapping, the same logic was pushed to this particular mapping. So we just copied that particular mapping. Okay.
Yeah.
So now let's have, so now our target is different. So let's remove the target. Okay. So what we need to do now, we have read the data from the file till here, right? So you are referring to the data from the file means you are reading the data from this particular file till here. So whatever the logic is available till here, that means you are reading the entire data from this file. Okay. Now, as per our requirement, what we need to do, we have to separate out the employees for these departments. Normally in SQL, what you will do, for example, if you want to see the data for human resources, what you will do?
Group by we use.
Okay. So for example, I want to see the employee details who are working in human resources department.
Where department name is equal to
Yes,
human.
you will write where department name equal to human resources, right? That means what you are doing here, you are applying some filter condition, right? You are applying some condition so that it will get only human resources employees. Okay. So in the same
Yeah.
way, here what we can do, what transformation we can use? We can use filter transformation. Okay.
Yeah.
We are using filter transformation and then just drag and drop everything into it. And then, okay, double click on it. If you want to rename it, you can rename it. Okay. Filter.
Yeah.
Okay. We are writing filter underscore what department? Human resources department. Okay. So I'm just renaming it like this because it is filtering the data for human resources. Okay.
Yeah.
So here what you can do, you can go to ports, you can see all the ports available here. Okay. And then you can go to properties. Here filter condition is true. By default, filter condition will come as true. That means each and every record will pass through this filter transformation. So everything will be treated as true. That means everything is satisfying the condition. It will move to the next transformation. But here what we want to filter out the data only for the human
Human.
resources department, right? So for that, what you can
Yeah.
do, you can go to ports. In which column we have the data? In which port? Department. Department name equal to human resources. Okay. Now you can validate the condition. Is it validated successfully?
Yes.
Press OK. And then OK. Now you have to apply and then click on OK. What you're doing here, you are filtering out the data for human resources. Okay. Now you have to load this data into some target. So do we have any target with this structure?
Yeah.
So if you go to targets, this is source size. If you go to targets, already you have some targets with the same structure. So you can drag and drop that particular target. If you want to look at the columns of that target, you can go to target designer here. Okay. And then you can look at the target. So if you see here, FF underscore employee is having the same number of here department name is there, here salary is there. If you go to your transformation, filter transformation, you are having from first name to salary. So go to target designer and then see which target is having all those columns. So target underscore employees, this is a flat file. So we want to generate the data with all the employees for each department. We have considered 3 departments here. So we want to create separate files for those 3 departments with only the employees who are working in that particular department. Okay. So here you are having all the columns with the structure. Okay. Your target structure is defined here. So you can make use of this. Okay. So what we do now, let's drag and drop this target. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you have to link everything here. So now if you see here, is everything in sequence? All the columns are in sequence, right? See here, all the columns are in sequence as this one. So select all of them and then drag and drop here. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can arrange all iconic. What you did now, you are getting the data from the flat file and then you are applying the filter to read or to filter out the data only for human resources. All right.
Yeah.
Like this you are doing. Okay. human resources is there, and then you are pushing the data into the target. Okay.
Yeah.
Now what we need to do, now we have created the mapping. What is the next step? Now you
We
have to
need
load the
to,
data into this file, right? So how you will do it?
yeah. We go to map.
You have to go to workflow. Okay. Then you have to connect to the repository. Okay.
Yeah.
To connect to the repository, and then go to training folder. Okay. Open the training folder, then go to the workflows, and your workflow is batch 2. Okay. Now
Yeah.
here, this is for an expression. So what I am doing here, I'm just linking it to this, and you can create one more session task you need to create to run that particular mapping, correct? If you want to
Yeah.
run that mapping, you have to create a session and you have to link it to that particular mapping. So can you see that particular mapping here?
No.
No, why we are not able to see that particular mapping? Because we did not save this particular mapping here. We just
Yeah.
created it. We did not save it. So you have to press Control S. Then it will say like whether this particular mapping is valid or not, and then it will save it. Now go to your workflow. Okay, just cancel it. Follow the same steps. Now click on Session Task. Click on this white space in the workflow. Now can you see that particular mapping here?
Yeah. Target department files.
Yes. So you have to save it, then only it will reflect in your workflow. Okay.
Yeah.
Press OK. Now this was created. What you have to do? You have to
File.
go to mapping and you have to
Target.
see the source from where you are reading the data. Okay. Here, source files, but my file is there in training folder and the file is same employees.csv, correct?
Yeah.
Because my file is there in training, I'm just giving this folder name here. Okay. Now, if you go to targets, it will refer to target files folder. Again, I want to load the data into some training folder inside target files, right? So if you go to target files, that's what we are learning each and every day. We are loading it into training folder, target files. And then you have training. Inside that training, we will load the data. So let's give folder name as training and file name as, what is the file name? Because
Target department.
we want to store the data for human resources, right? So let's
Yeah.
give target underscore, okay,
Human.
human resources dot csv. Okay.
Yeah.
.csv. So what it will do, it will go to target files folder, it will go to training folder, and then inside that it will create this file. Okay. Let's see, do we
Yeah.
have this file target underscore human resources file is there here? No, right? So whatever we have created earlier, those files are there, but we don't have this human resources. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then press OK. Okay.
Less. Control S.
Control S. So it is valid and it is updated. Now what we need to
Yeah.
do, we have to run this only
Start.
this session. To run only
Yeah.
this session, what we need to do,
I can start that.
we can go to start task and your monitor will be open. So here you can see department files is running. What it is saying, the process cannot because the file is open with us, right?
Yeah.
Because this we have faced earlier, because the file is open, that's the reason it is failing. Now we have closed the file here, no file is open. Go to the
Right.
session task again. What I need to do, restart from workflow from task or restart task?
Restart task.
Restart task. So now it is loaded. You can see it is succeeded, the status. If you want to see how many records are there, okay, double click on it. You can see here task details. Just minimize this. Now go to source or target statistics. How many records are there for in the source file? 296 records are there, right? How many records are there in our source file here? If you go to source files, employee training, and you have employees.csv. Okay.
96.
Yeah, we have 296 records are there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We have 296 records are there, just a minute, okay? 296 records are there. But how many records were loaded into your target here?
Only 6.
Only 6. Why only 6 records were loaded into your target?
Only 6 people are with the human.
Yeah, and remaining people are not working in human resources department. That's the reason though that data was filtered out. Only we need the data of those employees who are working in human resources department. Okay. Even if you see here, you are getting only 6 records, right?
Yeah.
But what is our requirement? We have to load the data for these 3 departments in 3 different files. One is human resources file, one is document control file, another one is facilities and maintenance file. How we can do
Yeah.
that? Now we have created only one, right?
We can in the filter we can
Okay, I'll go to filter. What I will do in the filter?
properties department. Yeah. Go to that and we filter here again with the and
So if you are
and
writing and human resources equal to, okay, and human resources equal to document control, for example, okay, and you want to write this one, right?
yeah.
Department name equal to document control, all right?
Yeah.
So let's try to run this same in the SQL. How many records you will get if you are doing, if you are writing this? The same thing
The
we are
records.
applying in, you are applying the same logic in Informatica as well, right? So in
Yeah.
SQL, if you are applying the same logic, what data you will get?
Human resources and document control.
Shall I run this query? I'm
Yeah.
running this query. So how many records you got?
Yeah. Or I think so.
Yes, so because department name equal human resources and department name equal document control. For one record, it won't satisfy both of these conditions. What is the use of and condition? Both when both of these are satisfied, then only it will return the record. At any point of time, one person or one record will have department name either as human resources or document control, but it not be both, right? So
Yeah.
that's the reason it is not giving any record. You have to give R. If you give R,
Yeah.
what will happen? So it will give all the employee details who are working in human resources and document control. Okay, because
Yeah.
it has to either satisfy this one or this one. If he is working in human resources or document control, it will return the data. Okay.
Yeah.
Now what will happen? I want them in a separate file. Okay. Now, if you give that, all of the data will come and sit in this file only, right?
Yeah.
But what I want, if you go to target files, and then if you go to training, I want like this, okay? Now target underscore human resources is there. And one more file, I want target underscore document control. One more file, target underscore, what is your facilities and maintenance I want. But if you are just writing R condition here, okay? Now here, you
Yeah.
will go here, you will just write whatever you are writing in SQL. So there is no difference. You can follow the same kind of logic when you are writing SQL and also in Informatica. Okay. So now
Yeah.
if you're doing that, I'm pressing OK and then applying this logic. If you run this, what will happen? All of the data will go to single file only, right?
Yeah.
But I want them in a separate files for each department. What should I do?
Yeah. We can create the mapping. We can copy the mapping and while filtering we can give it the
One more mapping we need to create.
yeah.
That is for again separate department. For example, if you want to load the data for 10 departments, you will end up creating 10 different mappings. But without
Yeah.
creating an extra mapping, can we do in this mapping only?
Yeah.
How you can do?
Sequence.
So how you can do is you can take one more filter. Okay, one more filter.
Okay.
Now what you have to do? Let me just arrange them in order. Okay. Now this filter is there. Let me drag it here. Okay. Let me push this down. Okay. Now move it. From source, you are getting all the data, right? From source, you are
Yeah.
getting all the data. So select it. Okay. Just select all the data and then drag and drop into this filter condition. Okay. Now you have one more filter condition, right? This is for human
Yeah.
resources. This is for what you can do. You can go here. You can rename it. Okay. Filter. What is the document control? Okay. Now go to
Yeah.
properties. Here write that condition. Okay. Here,
Yeah.
what you can do, go to ports, your
Department name is
department
equal.
name equal to what is the department name? Document control. Okay.
Yeah.
Give this document control. Okay. And then apply this. Then press OK. Now what you have to do? You have one target for human resources, right? So you can rename this. Okay. You can rename this as underscore HR human resources. Okay.
Yeah.
So that you can understand. Now what you can do, you can copy this, you can, okay, I'm clicking on this target. What you can do, you can drag and drop here like this. Okay,
Yeah.
the same structure, right? So this is, I have one target, that means one file for HR, one file for document control. This is
Yeah.
for document control.
Please.
When you have only one target, it will create only one target. If you want multiple targets, you have to drag and drop multiple instances here. So just push the data, whatever is required here. So what you're doing here, you're selecting all the data, you're pushing it. So this is one flow. This is another flow. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm pressing
We have
control.
one.
Okay.
We have
Now
one more.
yeah. So let's press control S. Is it showing valid for me? I pressed control S. It is showing valid.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to save it in between so that you will come to know if you are doing any mistakes in this particular mapping. Okay.
Yeah.
Now what you can do, you can just, okay, as of now, what I'm doing, I'm just clicking on this filter icon and then clicking here. So your filter transformation is coming. Okay. What is the other way you can do? You can select this.
Copy.
Okay. Yeah, you can copy and then paste it. Now it came again, right?
Yeah.
So
Rename.
for this one, you can rename it. What should be the name of this? It should be facilities and maintenance, right? It should be facilities and maintenance. Okay.
Yeah.
Pressing OK. And then properties. What I have to do? I have to give department name equal to
Facilities and maintenance.
facilities and maintenance. So is it looking similar to SQL?
Yeah.
So that's the reason I have just told you the SQL first. Okay. So that you will get an understanding. Okay. So that you
Yeah.
can relate it so that it will be easy to understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm pressing Control S, whether it will be valid or not. If I press
Yes.
Control S now, will it give me as valid or invalid?
Yeah. It gives value.
Okay. Now I'm pressing Control S. It is giving valid because at least one target transformation is connected. Even though it is not connected, it won't consider this because there is no linkage. Okay.
Yeah.
Now what you have to do, you want this data into some other file, right? That means you want
Yeah.
one more target. So for
Yeah.
the target, what you need to do, press, this is the target definition, right?
Yeah.
Just click on it, Control C, and then Control V. Okay. And then what you can do, you can rename this document control DC. Well, it is giving one because you copy pasted the same transformation. Okay.
Yeah.
So target employees, what is the name for this target? It should be F and M,
FM.
it is and maintenance, correct?
Yeah.
Now press OK and then apply it. and then okay. Now what do you need to do? You need to connect all of this, right?
For each
Yeah.
field, we need to create copies.
You can create copy, or what you can do is you can just go here. The target definition is already there. You can drag and drop here. For
Okay,
example,
but we'll have like multiple copies, and isn't it? It's like very confusing if it's for each and every field
what is
copy
what is
task.
what is your requirement here? What is your requirement? Create separate files with employees working in different departments. Okay, one for each, one file for human resources, one file for document control, and one for facilities and maintenance. That is your
Okay.
requirement, right?
Oh yeah. Okay.
So this is your requirement. Your requirement is you have to, okay, you have to create separate files with the employees who are working in human resources department, DC department, and F&M department. Okay. So as per
Okay.
that requirement, you need to have, because you have to create three different files, means you have to have three different targets, and
Yes.
all of those will have same structure.
Yes.
It is based on your requirement. Okay.
Okay.
Everything is based on your requirement only. Okay. Now we have here, if you see here, we have one for HR, one for document control, one for facility and maintenance. Okay. Clear? Because everything is based on your requirement only. If you have to use the filter transformation, this is the only way you can do it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pressing control S, it is saying like invalid. Why it is saying like invalid? Earlier, we did not link anything here to this transformation to this transformation. So it is ignoring all of this. Now what is happening? You are linking them, but there is no input for this filter transformation, right? So there should be some input to your filter transformation from which you need to pull this data. You need to give the input from this filter transformation or from this SQ transformation.
From SQ.
Why you have to give it from SQ but not from this filter?
Because it's the main source.
Because it's a main source, and also in this, from this source only you're getting all the data, right? You're getting the
Yeah.
data for all employees from here, right? You're getting the data from sales, purchasing, facility and maintenance, product, design, everything. But if you give the output of document control, what is the output of document control filter? It will fetch
Document.
only the data where it is equivalent to document control. Again, you are applying the filter F&M. Will it satisfy? Nothing, right? So it will give zero records. So if you want some data, because we want to read this from the source, that's the reason you are giving it from here. You got it? You can give it from any transformation, but as per our requirement, we have to fetch the employees from employees file who are working in facilities and maintenance department. If you give it after this, it will filter out the data only for document and control, and then you are checking for the department F&M. So it won't be satisfied. Correct? Clear? Or shall I explain it again?
Clear.
You are clear? Samatha, you are clear?
Yeah.
Yes. Now what I will do, I'll just press Control A. It is valid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Everything is. Now what we have to do? Now to go to workflow. Is this the mapping?
Yeah.
This is the mapping, right? So what you have to do? Can you directly go ahead and run it?
No.
No. First we have to refresh it because we have done changes to the underlying mapping. In this, before changing though, before adding those document control and then facility and maintenance, you have only one filter. Now you have two more filters. It is not refreshed. Okay. What we have to do? We have to refresh this session. For that, what we have to do? Right click on the session and go to this option, the refresh mapping. Then it will fetch the latest changes from the mapping to this session. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
What we have to do in order to refresh in order to get the latest logic from the mapping, right click on the session for which you want to refresh the underlying logic. Right click on it, press a refresh mapping or click on this refresh mapping option. Okay.
Yeah.
So now it is refresh. That's the reason you can see this. Okay. This filter kind of icon is coming. That means it is refreshed. There are some changes and it fetched all the changes here. If you double click on it, go to mapping. Now you can see facility and maintenance and document control. You can see, right?
Yeah.
Now press Control S. It is valid and you refreshed it. Now go here. You have to create the targets, right? For HR, what we have given here, it is a target file. Inside the training, we are giving target underscore human resources dot CSV. For facility and maintenance, what is the target here?
And
This is the target name. So let's change the target name. Okay.
yeah.
Into which folder it should go? Training. Okay. And what should be the target name here for us? Target underscore F and M dot CSV. Okay. Now what should be for document control? Again, you have to give training folder because we want to create inside the training folder. And then here output file name. What you have to give? Target underscore. What should be the name? Employees underscore DC dot CSV. Clear? Samatha, you are clear?
Yeah.
Or any doubts?
No doubts.
No doubts. So you practiced yesterday? When did you join?
Yeah.
Yes. You joined?
Yeah, I joined from other link and it's like connecting host need to accept it saying. So I messaged them and they sent a link and I opened from that. Yeah. So it took time for me.
Okay. But you are getting what I am trying to say here because
Yeah.
just we are applying some filter transformation. Yesterday we are
Same like yesterday. We did it for training.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we are doing it for the.
Yes. So yesterday we are working on the expression transformation. Today we are learning about the filter transformation.
Filter.
Okay.
Okay.
Here so far, any doubts? Just let me know. I'll explain to you again.
Okay. Yeah. As of now, it's good. Yeah.
Okay. Now you are loading the data into human resources here. So, but your source file is same, right? Only one source. From that, we are dividing the data into 3 different files for 3 different departments, right? Now press OK. Again, you have to save it, Control S. And every time you have to check whether it is valid or not. Okay. Now what you have to do?
Yeah.
You have to run it. If you run it, what will happen? How you will run it? Go to this task, right click on it, start task. Now you go to yes. Oh, Excel is opened again. We did the same mistake. Let me close this. What you can do from here, you can go to the latest one, right click on it, restart task. You can restart it from here, or you can start it from workflow as well. So what happened now? We are getting how many records we are getting for DC? 5. How many records we are getting for F&M?
7.
How many records we are getting for HR? 11. Okay. Clear?
Yeah.
So 3 files will be generated. Let's go and check here. How many are there? I'm refreshing it. You got 1 for human resources, 1 for DC, 1 for F&M. Right?
Yeah.
So if you go to human resources, so you have these many records. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, here we did a mistake. Here it is document control is coming. If you see the data, see the department name.
Yeah.
You're getting document control, right? I think we did a mistake in the logic. And also one more thing that you have to observe is we are not getting the header. Okay.
Yeah.
We are not getting the header. And let's go ahead and check for other files as well and then see if we are doing any mistake over there. So here F&M, we are getting only F&M, right? Again, no header is coming up here, right? Directly data is coming. Okay, this is coming up fine. Only header we need to fix. Okay, so it's not like just you create the mapping. You have to go and validate it if everything is fine. Okay. Now see here for document control also, you got only document control data, but you did not get the header. Okay. So how to fix it?
Go to
You know how to fix
workflow.
it, Ashok or Samatha?
Yeah,
Now tell me where to fix it and how to fix it.
we double click on it and go to mappings,
Go to mapping,
target file.
go to target. Okay.
Down we can find the header.
Header
Header
options.
option. Here what you need to give output field names.
Yes.
Same way for F and M you have to give output field names. For the DC also you have to give output field names. You are pressing apply, okay, and then save it control S. The mapping.
So we need to change for every time, like whenever we do, it will not take automatically.
No, it won't take. No header is the automatic option. Okay, default option. If you want to have the field names, then you have to go and change this.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what is the other mistake we did? In HR, we are getting document control data as well. What will be the issue? If you are mentioning here, then only you will be getting it here, right? So that means there is an issue
We
with the filter condition. So in our filter
used
condition,
R.
Or
yes, we have to remove this because we are giving our condition and then document controls. If it is human resources or document control, in both the cases it will come, right?
Yeah.
So let's remove this, okay? And then press OK. And then apply it. Okay. Then what you need to do? Save it. Then it is valid. You have to say whenever you are saving it, you have to make sure that your mapping is valid or not. Okay. And it is looking very big, right? So what we can do, right click, arrange all icon. So you can easily see this. Now you can easily understand, right? You're reading the data from source and you're filtering the data for human resources and then document control and then facility and maintenance. And you're loading the corresponding data into 3 different files. Clear?
yes.
Now what you have to do, go to workflow. As you have changed some logic, you have to refresh it, right? How you can refresh it? Right click on it. What is the option that we need to use?
Refresh mapping.
Yes, refresh mapping. Now it is referring to the latest logic and then press Ctrl S. What is the next step? We have to run it.
Start.
Start task. Now go to monitor and then see it is running. It is succeeded. Now see, you have generated 3 different files. So it will be there in which folder? Files will be generated where?
Employees, target employees.
It will go to target files and inside that training folder will be there. Inside that you can see the files. Okay. So I have refreshed it. So if you see, these were generated just now. If you see the time, okay. These were generated just now, right?
Yes.
Now go to where did we see the issue? Human resources. Right? So let's go and check here what is happening. Now we are getting the header
Yes.
and also you are getting only the data for human resources.
Yes.
So this is how you will use the filter transformation. So it is similar to where condition in your SQL, right? What you are doing indirectly, here you are reading the data from a table, right? There you are reading the data from a file and then applying the same logic, right? So for example, here, if you want to get the data for human resources, what you will do, you'll write human resources. And if you want to get the data for document control, you will write where it is equal to document control, right? And if you want facility and maintenance, you will write that. So did you do the same thing in Informatica as well?
Yeah.
Right. So if you want only facility and maintenance, so you'll get only facility and maintenance data. If you want document control, you want only document control will come. Human resources, only human resources will come. So it is similar because here it is there in the table. That's the reason you are able to write the queries. But here on top of the files, we have to do it. So on top of the files, we can't do it. That's the reason we are using Informatica, okay, to write the logic and to load the data into 3 different files. Okay, clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Any doubts here? Any doubts?
As of now, it's good. No doubts.
Okay. So your book is the filter logic, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now you see, right? We are applying the same logic again and again here, right? We are applying the
Yeah.
filter for each and everything. We are applying the filter. For example, if you want to generate the separate files for each and every department, how many departments you have in the file? If you open the file, that file data is only there in this table, right? So let's see, because it will be easy if we write the query here instead of referring to the file. Okay. So here, if you write this, how many are there? 16 departments are there. Now, if I want to
Yeah.
separate the employees for each of these departments, you have to have 16 filter transformation and then 16 targets, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So targets, anyways, you want to create separate file. It will be, you have to have those targets. But is there a way to remove this filter and then go ahead with any other transformation which will serve the same purpose?
But it's asked to separate, so
Yeah, so for that, there is another transformation that we can use instead of using the filter these many times. Okay. So what is that transformation is? So for this, first, let me rename it. Okay. Let me rename this particular mapping target department, right? And here,
Yeah.
let me just, yes. Okay, target department files, yeah, opened it. Okay. And then go to mapping, edit it. You can rename it here by using filter we are doing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm changing it to underscore filter because I want to create another mapping with that particular transformation. Okay. Now you have changed it, just save it. Go to your mapping. See here, it is automatically changing, or is it, go to refresh mapping? What is happening? So automatically it is giving underscore filter here, right?
Yeah.
But we changed here. Earlier, our mapping name is different. Now our mapping name is different. So it is reflecting here in the corresponding session. Okay. But it is not changing the name of the session. So let's go ahead and change the name of the session as well. Okay. So
Yeah.
that it will be easy for us to understand when we are using the other transformation for the same purpose. Okay.
Yeah.
Now what we have to do? The logic is same, right? Only we have to replace this filter. But you have to load the data into HR, you have to load the data into document control, you have to load the data into F&A, correct?
Yeah.
So now what we have to do, let's copy this instead of recreating the whole logic. Okay. Every time we are recreating the new mapping, right? So let's copy this mapping and create a new mapping with the same logic. And then let's try to replace our filter. Okay. Clear?
Yeah.
Any doubts? How to copy the mapping? Go to mappings. What is the option we need to use?
yeah.
Control C.
Copy as. Go to mappings. Okay. You are there in the mapping designer. Go to mapping. Go to copy as. Here, what transformation we are going to use is router transformation. Our requirement is same, but we are using the other transformation. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Router transformation. So it is creating another mapping with the same logic. That means it is just copy pasting that logic. Okay. Now what we
Yeah.
need to do? We have to remove this filter, right?
Yeah.
So I'm selecting all of that and then pressing delete. So it is asking me whether I can delete all of those. I'm saying yes, you can delete. Now all the links were gone for HR, DC, and then F&M.
Yeah.
Because your filter transformations are removed because you are linking from those transformations only. All the links were gone. So now which transformation we have to use? What I told you, which transformation we have to use here? Router. So if you see here, you have router transformation here. Okay, just click on it
Yeah.
and click it here. So you are getting router transformation. Now what you need to do, you have to get the data from the file into your router transformation, right?
Yeah.
So open it, and then select all the columns and drag and drop into your router transformation. Now you got all the transformations, sorry, all the columns.
Yeah.
Now open this router transformation. Okay. Now rename it. Okay. Router underscore HR DC and FNM, right? You want to divide the data into 3 different sets. Okay. I'm just renaming the transformation. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now go to groups. Here input ports are there. We have all the columns. This is input. Go to groups. Here you can create any number of groups. So first group for us is HR. Second group is document control. Third group F and M. Okay. For this, what should be the condition for HR? True means it will pull everything, right? True means satisfying each and every, like it is satisfying, it is saying like for each and every record, you have to pass it through this transformation and you have to push it to the output. That's what it is saying. But that is not we want, right? What we want for HR?
Department name is equal to.
Here, instead of true, true means it is every time it is satisfying the condition, it will go to the next transformation. But what data we want? Where department name, where you have department name here, department name equal to what is that? Human resources. So here you have human resources. Just give this. Okay. And then press OK. This is for human resources. And for DC, what do you need to give? Tell me.
Department name is
equal to document control. Okay. And for F&M, what should be the one?
Department name is equal to
Facilities and maintenance. Right. So here, go to ports. Have department name equal to facilities and maintenance, and you can validate it. Everything is validated successfully, right? So whenever you are writing any condition, you have to validate it. Okay. Yeah. Now we have divided the data into 3 sets, 3 groups. Okay. Now press apply and then OK. Now here you can see, right? This is input. This is HR, right? And this is DC. This is FM. And one more default group will come. Okay. Clear? Now what you need to do? From which one you need to link here? This is HR. For HR, which group we need to link?
First one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you link this one?
For HR, second one. For HR, second one.
Because you can't, because this is input, you have to link it from the groups. So you have to go to HR, then select all the things, whatever is there in HR, then link it to your HR. Okay. Now your HR is completed. All right. Now go to DC. Okay. DC, you are there here. Now link it to DC. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you want F&M. For F&M, from which we need to link? From F&M group, because here you are filtering out your data. Right?
Yeah.
Clear? Now you have one more group, default. What it will do? What data it will return? Default. So you have created the groups. One is for HR, one is for DC, one is for FM. So you know this is the condition you are referring. But for default, you can't give any condition here. Okay. So is there a path for the data when none of the group conditions are satisfied? What it is saying in this default, what will come here?
Whatever the other data we.
Yes, whatever the data. So what it is saying, data when none of the group conditions are satisfied. Because do we have any other data apart from these 3 departments?
Yeah.
So all those things won't satisfy any of these conditions, right? So you will be getting all of that data into this default. Okay. But are you linking it to anywhere? You are not linking it to anywhere. So that data won't be populated in any of the files or any of the tables because you are not generating the target out of it. Clear?
Yeah.
Understood? Or shall I add one more target as well for the default group to see how it comes?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So for that, what we can do, we can go to one target because it is of the same structure, right? This target is also having the same structure. So I can copy that target. I can paste it. It is pasted, right? What I need to do here, I need to rename it. It is not F&M, right? It is other departments. So let me rename it as other. Okay. Other departments. Okay. Press OK, apply, then OK. What I need to do, I have to link this, right? I have to link all of these ports. Clear?
Yeah.
Now, what you can do, you can press Control S. See, is it valid?
Yeah.
Everything is valid. Now, what we have to do?
Go to session workflow.
Go to workflow. Now we have filter transfer. For filter transformation mapping, you have a session. Do you have the mapping for this router transformation mapping?
No.
Now, how to create the session now here?
Create a new session.
How to create the new session?
On the top session icon.
Session icon is there. Okay. You have to tell me each and every step. I have to select here. Yes, I have to select here, then click here. Now, can you see router transformation mapping here?
Yeah.
Where is the mapping?
Fourth one.
Fourth one. Now I will select it. Now it is creating the session, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, what we have to do? We have to go to mapping. Now what we need to change? We have to go to SQ, this file, and then see where it is referring. It is referring to the source files directly. But where we need to see, look for the file, because in source files, we don't have the employees file. Where we have trainings folder. In trainings folder we have. So what you have to do here? Training folder you have to give. Not only look for source files, go to inside the training folder. In that you will find this file. That's what you are saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now press OK. Okay, this is what it is. Now, again, you did not change it for targets, right? For targets, this is other employees. Again, you are giving no header. Let's give output field names as a header. Okay.
Yeah.
Output file type. Here also we need to give training because in target files we are storing the data inside training folder. Inside target files we have training folder. Inside this you are storing it, right? So what you need to give here? Training slash. What is the name of this file? Should be target underscore employees underscore. What is that? Other departments.
Okay.
Because it is other departments target, right? If you see here, the name of this is other departments. Okay. Now here, again, you have to do in the same way. This is for which department? Again, you have to go to training dash. What data we are having here in this target?
F&M.
M dot
F&M.
Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now for HR, again, what you need to give? You have to give training slash
target employees HR.
Target underscore HR dot CSV. Why I'm not giving employees is already we have created some target with the same name, right? So it will override them. So I'm directly giving target underscore HR. Okay. And even for F&M also, I think I already have target underscore F&M. So let me write target underscore employee. Okay.
Yeah.
For DC, you have training folder again slash. What do you have to give?
Target underscore employee DC.
Target underscore. Already you have the name for DC. Okay, you have employees underscore DC. So let's just give DC. Okay, it is just a file name. We can give any. Okay. So
Yeah.
you have given for DC, you have given for HR, you have given for FNM, you have given for other departments. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm pressing apply. Okay. What do I need to do now?
Control S.
Control S.
Yes. And then you have to see whether it is valid or not. Okay. It is
Valid.
valid. That means everything is fine, no errors. Then right click on it. What do you need to do?
Start task.
Start task. Now what you need to see, you have to go to monitor and then see what is happening here. So you have loaded the data here.
Yeah.
So for a DC you are getting 5, FNM you are getting 7. For this you are getting 6. For this you are getting remaining. Got it?
Yeah.
Now let's go to the target files folder, training, see the files, order it by date modified. So you got all these files.
Yeah.
So go to other departments. Let's see what data we have here. So all the data except HR, DC, and then FNM. You will get all other. You have
Remaining
other
data.
departments data. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then if you go to other file, for example, DC, you have only document control one. And here, did you observe anything in this file? There is no
Marital.
header. There is no header.
Yeah.
For DC, okay, let's go and check in DC. Okay, for DC, let's go to mapping, go to target. Okay, see here.
Yeah.
We change anything here? We did not change, right? Header options, we are giving no header for DC. For HR also, it is no header. For FNM also, no header. Other departments, we have given. So for other departments, it was there. But for these, HR, DC, for all of that, it is not there, right? Header is not coming
Yeah.
because we did not enable that particular option. Clear?
Yeah.
Understood? Now you come here. Now see here, just arrange it by iconic way in designer. Now it is looking very simple, right?
Yeah.
Only one router based on your targets, it is different. Okay?
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
Difference between filter and router. I could have told you router directly, but you don't know the understanding of how it will be used and when it will be used, right?
Yeah.
So if you see here, for example, I want only the data for HR, not for any other things. So at the time, what you will use? Will you use router or filter?
Filter.
Filter, because only one data set you
One.
want to generate it out of it.
Yeah.
But if you want to generate multiple data sets out of it, then you can
We use router.
in router you will have groups. Groups are nothing but kind of filters only, kind of different filters. Okay.
Okay.
What's the
Yeah.
purpose of default here? Here you have default. What will be there in this default?
Other data, whatever the
The
data
data
we
The
which
have.
is
remaining
not
data.
satisfying the conditions of any of the other groups.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
So everything is clear in today's session or any doubts?
It's
Oh, good.
So
yeah.
what we have
Well,
learned today?
filter and router
Router. And what you
transformations.
learned yesterday?
Expression.
Expression. And what we have learned till now in Informatica? What are the different things that you have learned till now?
Mapping.
Designing,
Workstation
mapping.
You learned about the mappings, workflows, sessions. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you have loaded the data from file to file to table, from one file to multiple files. And you have learned how to use expression transformation. You have learned how to use the filter transformation. You have learned how to use the router transformation. And you have learned what is the difference between router and filter. And you have learned when to use filter, when to use router.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you clear with all
Yeah.
of these concepts?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.